You're in the room. You're invited. You're consulted. You're part of the conversation. And yet when someone asks, who should we talk to about this? Your name doesn't come up first. Not consistently. Not instinctively. And that gap between being present and being top of mind is where many senior leaders quietly stall. Because influence doesn't belong to who speaks well in the room. It belongs to whose name circulates when they're not in the room. I'm Modesta Mahiga, and this is the Authority Advantage podcast, where we examine how leadership authority is earned, signaled, and sustained in high-trust, high-scrutiny environments. This podcast is for senior leaders who are already respected, already consulted, already in the room, but want their value to travel further than the meeting. If you've ever wondered why some names carry weight long after the conversation ends, and others don't, this episode is for you. Let's begin. The real problem. Most of my clients are not invisible. They advise institutions. They sit in senior meetings. They're trusted contributors. Their problem is not access. It's that their value is experienced, but not articulated. They contribute strongly in the moment, but their contribution isn't named, packaged, or repeated beyond the room. So when opportunities move, industry roles, visibility, referrals, their name doesn't surface automatically. Not because they lack substance, but because their value hasn't been positioned clearly or consistently. Why competence is no longer enough? Here's the uncomfortable truth. At senior levels, competence is assumed. Everyone in the room is capable. Everyone has experience. Authority, therefore, is not awarded to the most competent person. It's assigned to the most legible one. Most leaders don't actually understand how authority forms in the market. Authority forms through association. What are you known for? What problem does your name solve? How do people describe you when you're not present? If someone can't easily finish this sentence, he's the one who, then your authority is diffuse. And diffuse authority does not travel. Contribution versus positioning. This is the distinction that matters. Contribution lives inside the room. Positioning lives outside it. Contribution says, I did the work. Positioning says, this is the value I uniquely bring. Without positioning, your insight stays contextual. Your judgment stays situational. Your impact stays contained. With positioning, your name becomes a reference point. Your expertise becomes shorthand. Your authority compounds. This is why someone with less experience but clearer positioning often gets more traction. Not because they're better, but because they're clearer. Power rewards clarity. What authority signaling actually is. Authority signaling is not posting more. It is extracting your real value add, naming it precisely, repeating it consistently, aligning every surface, CV, LinkedIn, bios, interviews, to reinforce it. When this is done well, something shifts. You stop explaining yourself. People start referencing you. That's when your authority begins to travel. If you're already in the rooms, already trusted, but not consistently the first name that comes up in your industry or online, this is not a visibility problem. It's a positioning problem. I work with senior leaders to draw out, sharpen, and consistently signal their value so their authority works beyond the room. That work may include CVs, LinkedIn profiles, or interview preparation. But those are outputs. The strategy is executive positioning. If this resonates, you can book a strategy session with me in the show notes. This work is selective, but if you're ready for your name to carry the weight your experience already deserves, you'll know. Being present is no longer enough. Being respected is no longer enough. Authority belongs to those who can name their value and signal it consistently. I'm Modesta Mahiga, and this is the Authority Advantage podcast. Until next time.